We're on question number 15 now. Resuming from this question, it says solve the inequality which looks like this. Okay, what have you done? This gave you 2 marks, so probably a small mistake somewhere over here. Let's take a look. What do you think we're supposed to do? If I were to write this down, x square minus 2x minus 35 is less than equals to 0. Can you help me solve this?
Well, you change the less than equals sign to equals.
Only in your head, Rida. I would recommend keep it like that. I mean, just so that you should just consider this in your head while you're solving it. But it might cause some problems if you actually change it to like is equals to. Let's keep it like this. What next?
Oh, you have to. Then you have to move to the other side then.
What do we have to take to the other side?
The 0.
Alright, if that helps, 0 is greater than equals to x square minus 2x minus 35. Did you notice how a greater than sign, a less than sign changed into a greater than sign, right?
Yeah.
Had I kept it as an is equals to sign, I would not have been able to make that differentiation. Alright? Try to keep it as this inequality and just in your head let yourself know I'm just solving it with this is equals to sign. Okay, what next?
And then you have to factorize it.
Factorize it, perfect. So when multiplied we should get these two numbers multiplied together. There's a 1 over here. When multiplied we should get a negative 35.
Yep.
And when added we should get negative 2.
Yep.
So what two numbers when added would give us negative 2, when multiplied would give us negative 35?
Yes. 7 and 5.
7 and 5. 7 and 5. Perfect. So we have 0 is greater than equals to minus 7x, positive 5x, because negative 7 plus 5 will give you negative 2. And negative 7 and negative 5 multiplied together would give you negative 35.
Yeah.
How many terms do I have now? Do you know what a term is?
Yeah.
What's a term?
It's like. I don't know how to explain it. It's like.
Take your time. But when you need help, let me know.
Like. I don't know how to explain it.
Alright, let me help you out.
Like word or. No.
Okay, how many terms do we have over here? This is simple.
2.
2. So all those numbers and variables differentiated by an addition sign or a negative sign. Okay. So if I were to add another negative sign and write minus 5y, how many terms do we have now?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. All these terms or all these numbers and variables are bifurcated or demarcated or differentiated by these addition and plus and minus signs. Right?
Yeah.
How many terms do we have over here?
4.
4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Whenever we have 4 terms, what do we do? How do we factorize it?
G. Can you put it in bracket?
In brackets?
Yeah.
That's the end result of that process. It's called factorization by grouping. You
Okay.
Group them together. So if you're grouping this together, what can I take common, or what can I factorize out of the first group?
Um, 7, 1,
What's with both of those numbers? What can I take common?
just 1.
X.
Oh, X.
X is with both of them, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'll be left with x minus 7 inside. Yeah, still greater than equals to 0. What can I factorize out of the second group?
It's 5.
Plus 5. I'll be left with x minus 7 in the second bracket.
Okay.
Are these two identical? Rida?
Yep.
Are these two brackets identical?
Yep.
If and when they're identical, that means that our factorization is correct so far. Can you help me get the answer for this while I try to grab myself a calendar? Give me the answer for this. Did you write this down?
Not all of it. Yeah.
Why don't you just write down the last inequality and try to solve this?
Yep.
Let me know when you're done.
Mhm.
Done?
Wouldn't the answer just be the same?
Hold on. The answer looks the same. Let me check that. Why is that?
Oh, 7 minus 7x to 5x minus
Your
35.
answer might be correct. Let me take a look. So we're gonna say 0 is greater than equals to. Oh wait, hold on. Before we do that, we're gonna make two brackets x plus 5 and x minus 7, right? Does this make sense?
Yep. Yep.
What do we do next? Draw a line in between.
Yep.
For one, we're gonna say 0 is greater than equals to x plus 5, and the other we're gonna say 0 is greater than equals to x minus 7. Is this correct too?
Yep.
What next? With one more step to go. I want to isolate this variable x. We've
Yep.
done isolation a great number of times. What rule do we use for isolation?
You have to do the opposite of what it has. So
Perfect, opposite of board mass. So we need to get rid of addition. What cancels addition?
subtraction.
Subtraction. So we're going to subtract on both sides x plus 5 minus 5. 5 and 5 get cut out. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So negative 5 is greater than or equals to x, or in other words, x is less than equals to negative 5. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
If I were to draw this on a number line, this is what it would look like. ये रहा 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. This is negative 5. If x is less than equals to negative 5, that means do I go on the right or do I go on the left?
Go on to the right.
X is less than negative 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's do the other one now. If I were to isolate the variable x, what would I say? X is
Um, you add x on it.
we.
We take away x.
What do we add?
We take away x.
We take away x. Oh, you want to change the location of x?
Yeah.
That might cause a little bit of a difficulty in solving it, but let's do that. So if you're changing the position of x, if you're sending x over there, it's gonna become negative x greater than equals to -7. What do I do now?
And then you divide by x by 7.
7 doesn't have a variable next to it.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to isolate this. What's connected to the x?
Minus.
Minus, and minus never comes alone. It always has an invisible 1 next to it. Essentially, we're supposed to just get rid of this negative 1. How do I get rid of the negative 1? Because we're supposed to isolate x, remember?
By dividing it by 1.
By dividing it with negative 1. Now, the reason I was stopping you from going down this path is take a look over here. Whenever you divide by, whenever x has a negative coefficient, this sign becomes opposite whenever you're dividing. That was what I wanted you to avoid this process because it would have just caused more steps and more confusion. So now you're going to end up with x is less than equals to this is also going to get cut out. 7 over 1 is 7. There was a far easier way to do this. Take a look over here. What if I just threw this 7 over here? What would it become?
It's just 7 is greater or equals to x.
See? Same answer. But
Yep.
with a lot less steps. So
Okay.
I would not recommend going down this path at all.
Yeah.
Now 7 is greater than equals to x. Somewhere far along the line over here we've got 7. Do we stay to the right of it? Do we stay to the left of it?
To the right.
X is less than equals to 7.
Oh, to the left.
To the left. Okay then. Now show your algebraic working. You've done your algebraic working. Probably you went wrong over here. What happened? What happened? Our answer is x is greater than less than equals to -5. Your answer is x is less than equals to -5. You just went wrong over here. Did you?
Yeah.
Your symbol or your sign is facing x, mine is facing the 7. You would have scored
Yep.
full marks otherwise. You did a good job over here. Okay. Note down this topic. Do you know what this refers to? No clue? Area and volume of 3D shapes and 2D shapes.
Yeah.
That's surface areas and all of that stuff. That's mensuration. And not only mensuration. Notice something else over here. What does the question say?
Is similar.
Similarity. It also has similarity. Similarity and congruence that we studied.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of mensuration and similarity. Can you just let me know what you understand by reading the question? Does this ring a bell?
Yeah.
What would you describe? How would you describe these two shapes? Are they congruent or similar?
Similar.
Similar. Same shape, different size.
Yeah.
Where were we? If they're similar, one must be the actual shape, which is the big one. The model is usually
Just.
smaller one, right?
Yeah.
So that's the actual statue, and this one's the smaller guy. The statue has a total surface area of 3600, so this one has a surface area of 3600 centimeters square. The model has a surface area of
625
and
centimeters
then
square.
alright, centimeter square. And then they've told me that the volume of the model is the big one or small one?
And the small one.
The small one. The small one has a volume of 750 centimeter cube. If it helps you, you can also draw these shapes in your exam. And we're supposed to find the
Volume of the statue.
volume of the big one, or the statue. Work out the volume. How are these two values related? How do we solve them? It's a 3-mark question, so it might involve some cross-linking.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking now.
How can we cross-link it then? How can you link surface area to volume?
Um. I'm thinking because before when we did like
Let me take you a trip down memory lane. Does this ring a bell?
yeah
Take a
yeah
screenshot of this. Let me know when you're done.
yeah done it.
Alright. See, so we've got areas, then we've got volumes. The only thing that's linking them is the length. Both of them have the same length. So can we
Yeah.
somehow, using the areas, can we somehow a1 over a2 find the length?
Yeah.
Okay, help me out. Instead of calling a1, I'll call it a of statue. Instead of calling a2, I'll call it a of model. Instead of calling L1, I'll say L of statue and L of, what's the other one? Model?
Yeah.
So then this might make things more descriptive. Okay, okay. Do we have the values of statue and model? Do we have the surface areas?
Yeah.
Can you give me those?
300 3,600 I think,
3,600.
and then 625.
Shabash. Okay.
Then for the length we have I guess
We don't have the length, remember? We can
Yeah.
write them as it is. Length of statue and length of model. How do I get rid of this square?
you square root it.
Square root. Well done. I hope you're not locked out of your room today. Do you have your calculator?
Oh, it's not first. Should I go grab it really quickly?
It's alright, I'll help you out. The square
It's
root
just
of,
funny.
the square root of 3600 is 60.
Yeah.
The square root of 625 I think should be 25. Yes, it is. और यहाँ पे रिदा इसका क्या होगा? What would happen to this square and this square root?
When the square just
What happens when we take the square root of a variable that's already squared?
it would get its original value.
Exactly. So these two things are going to disappear. We'll have length of statue over length of Model.
Yeah.
Now what did the question say? Work out the volume of the statue. So now we know how much was the length of the first guy. 60. And what's the length of the other one?
25.
25. So this one
Yeah.
is 60 centimeters and this one is 25. यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक 25. How does this help you in being able to find out the volume? Try to visit the screenshot that you took a little while ago and see if it helps.
Yeah. Because volume 1 and volume 2 equals length 1 length 2 cube.
Excellent. Volume 1 over volume 2 is equal to length 1 over length 2 whole cube. Help me plug in the values.
60 over 20.
So let's, instead of writing LS, L1 and L2, I'll write LS and LM just so that you're familiar as to what you're plugging in and where you're plugging them.
Yeah.
So LS is going to be how much?
60.
And LM?
25.
Thank you. VS?
Just VS.
Just VS.
Yep.
And VM?
750.
I'll do the calculator bit for you, but before I do that, what would I do to make VS a subject?
Would you make an equation of them?
Come again? Whenever we have a fraction equal to another fraction, what do?
You cross multiply.
Perfect. Cross multiply. If I cross multiply, I would try to keep the 25 over here. I would not send it over to the other side because it would just complicate things. So I would only do half of cross multiplication. I'd say volume of statue is equals to 60 over 25 whole cube into multiplied by
750.
perfect. Over here in the screen that you can see, there is an answer for 60 over 25 whole cube. Do you know where it is and what it is? Apologies, it's a square. No, one here. Apologies, I thought it was a square. We're supposed to cube it this time around. So this is what we're supposed to do essentially, right?
Yeah.
But since we have a calculator with us that it does all of that for us, let me do that. 60 into 60 into 60 into 750 it's 10,368. It was something you had already studied. It's only a matter of being able to recognize it.
Yeah.
You knew all of this. Take a screenshot of all of this. Take a screenshot of this.
Yeah. Take a screenshot.
17. This was okay. That's the other topic that you need to revisit.
Yeah.
Where k is an integer, m is a prime number, work out the value of k. Alright. It's only 1 month. 9 a square number?
Yes, I think so.
What is it a square of?
Um,
What number multiplied by itself would give you 49? For instance, 2 into 2 is 4. 4 fours are 16. 5 fives are 25.
um, is it? Oh, 7.
7, right? So
Yeah.
what I can do is I can choose to write it like this. 8 square root of m as it is plus 7 into 7 into m. You just told me it's 7. What's 9 a square of?
Uh, 3.
So 3 into 3 into m. I do not know if you remember this concept, but I think I told you something of this sort. Whenever we have two numbers inside a square root jail, two of them combine their forces together, join hands, and only one of them is able to break free. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Rida, ये तो हो जाएगा 8 square root of m. What's the answer gonna be of this? If I simplify this, what would it become?
7m, I think.
7 square root of m. M would not be able to
Oh,
come out because he does not have a partner he can join forces with.
yeah.
What's gonna be the answer for this?
3 square root of m.
Notice how we're leaving k square root of m as it is, we're not solving that.
Yeah.
Whether you have 8 apples, I give you another 7 apples, then somebody takes away 3 apples. How many apples are you left with?
Um, 12. I think.
Instead of apples, we're gonna write square root of m because that's the variable that we're solving for, right?
Okay, yeah.
What do you think the answer for k is?
Um,
No calculation required, you just need to compare the coefficients. If square root of m is equal to square root of m, k is equals to
12.
12. 12 is your answer.
Oh, okay.
Do you need to take a screenshot of this?
I've written it down, so it's fine.
Oh, Zabardast, perfect. Show that whenever we have a denominator which has a square root sign, this is there's a process we need to do that's called rationalizing the denominator.
Yeah.
How do we rationalize it? Oh, what? You've done majority of it. The only thing that you missed out on Rida is whenever you're multiplying it ना तो यहाँ पे साइन क्या होता है?
Oh, wait.
Take a look over here. For instance, this is the question, right? You're supposed to
Yeah.
rationalize the denominator. You write the exact same thing. Look, you do the exact same thing. What's the difference?
Oh, you changed.
You change the sign.
Yeah.
Always change the sign. Where's Rida? Where's Rida? Rida, all you needed to do was put put in a plus sign. It would have been correct.
Yeah.
That is sad. How many marks did you lose for this? 4. Oh my.
Yeah.
Would you be able to help me solve this now?
Yeah.
Let's try.
So,
Should I write it neatly?
yes, please.
5 minus 5 minus square root of 18. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Times 1 plus square root of 2 divided by 1 minus square root of 2, 1 plus square root of 2. Essentially, you're multiplying something of this sort. It's a plus b, multiplied by a minus b. Do not forget what to do first is multiply a with the a with the b, then b with the a, and then b with the b.
Yeah.
Chalo. So I'll draw the arrows for you. This with this number, then this with this number,
Yeah.
then this with this number, and then this with this number.
So,
What's the first number?
just 6.
5 times.
Oh, times. Oh, just 5.
5. Next.
And then plus 5 square root 2.
Perfect. Now we're done with these two arrows. I'm going to draw the next two. 1, 2.
And then just minus square root 18
Excellent. Next.
plus then would you would it be square root 36?
Square root of 36. Perfect. So essentially what you're supposed to do is you just plug in the square root of sign, and next you simply multiply the numbers that are in between and write them over here.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
We're done with this, so we're done with the numerator. What's gonna happen in the denominator?
But it
Same process.
yeah. So just 1 plus square root 2.
Next.
And then just minus square root 2 plus square root of 4.
You're almost there. Except for the minus. What sign did you say?
Oh, I said plus, minus. Sorry.
Minus. Minus square root of
4.
4. Let's try to solve this as much as we can. Wait, what format are we supposed to bring it in? ये देखो. In the form
A plus b square root 2.
some number plus another number, and then that number is getting multiplied with square root of 2. So we're still a little away from that form. I mean, if this had been our answer in the numerator, that would have been fine. That's what they're asking for. They're saying a plus b square root of 2. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
But currently it's not in that format. So what can we add? What can we subtract? What can we cancel out?
Can you cancel out the square root too?
You
The
want to?
number.
What next?
I think that's it.
That's it. Let's. What's the square root of 36?
6.
6. So instead of this, let me write down 6. What next?
The square root of 18.
Is how much?
Oh, 9.
9? 9 nines are 81.
Oh.
If you're allowed a calculator, which you are, you can always use that, but it might not help you that much. Let me see if your calculator will help you. Some of them would, some of them might not. Like this model that I have over here, which is 82 ms, doesn't help. So what you can do is factorize 18. How many times does 2 fit into 18? 9 times. How many times does 3 fit into 9? 3 times. So which of
Oh,
these two
yeah.
numbers can join forces together and come out with the square root jail? The square root of
3.
18 can be written as 2 into 3 into 3, right? I just
Yeah.
plug these numbers in. Now these two can combine their forces together and one of them would come out. It will look 3 square root of 2. Does
Yeah.
it make sense? So instead of
Yeah.
18, I'll write 3 square root of 2. Does this solve things? Can you add or subtract anything now?
You cancel out the square root 2.
We can't exactly cancel them out. What you can say is there are 5 apples. Somebody's taking away 3 apples from you. How many apples are you left with?
2.
2. So we'll take a good look what I write this down as. I'll say 2 square root of 2. The square root of 2 over here is just a variable representing, for instance, apples that we just discussed in the case right now. What is 5 minus 6?
Just minus 1.
Negative 1. I can also write it down like this over here afterwards. 1 minus square root of 4. What can minus square root of 4, can it be written down as a whole number?
Yes.
What number?
Just 2, wouldn't it?
So I'll erase this and I'll write 2. You don't have to do this in the exam. You always write it in a new step.
Yeah.
Now 1 minus 2 gives you?
Sorry?
1 take away 2.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. We're almost there. They're saying the answer should only look like this. A plus b square root of 2. What if I were to tell you that if somehow we can get rid of this negative 1, in the denominator we'll be just left with the number 1, and anything over the number 1 is the number itself, so it would lose its value. How can I get rid of this negative 1? Do you know the concept of equivalent fraction?
Yeah. I think so. I don't know.
If I multiply the numerator and the denominator by negative 1, I'll essentially be able to get rid of the negative sign in the denominator. The denominator will just become 1, and everything in the numerator would change their signs. So 2 square root of 2 would become negative. I'll write that down over here afterwards. And that negative 1 would become a
Positive 1.
positive 1. Since 1 in the denominator does not hold any value, I can erase that. Look over here at the screen. 1's gone and the over sign is gone. We are left with an answer which is exactly in the format that they asked us, which was a plus b square root of 2. Now you might be wondering that they're saying plus, we have a minus. Well, integers can be positive or negative. We don't exactly have to match the signs.
Yeah.
So what is the value of a?
1.
What is the value of b?
Minus 2.
That is your answer.
Okay.
How many questions does this paper have?
Quite.
Why doesn't it end already? Were there any blanks in your exam paper?
I think so. Like on the last page.
Last 3 pages seem to be blank.
Oh,
It says end of paper. Go back and check your working. So the last 3 pages are just blanks. Let me erase them. Just adding to the anxiety. Here we go back. Um, One. Okay, we need to do this. We need to do this. Oh my. I was really hoping we could finish this today. Let's gear up our speed. Given that the surface area of a sphere is 49 pi, what is the radius of the sphere? Can you give me the formula of the sphere?
um, 2 seconds.
Sure, take your time. Okay, surface area of a sphere. I would not bug you for that because your exam paper has the formulas at the top of before the first page. I'll just show you over here. Take a look. So what's the surface area of a sphere?
The sphere. 4 pi radius squared.
4 pi
4
radius
times
squared.
4 times squared.
Yeah, or 4 pi r square. So let me take you back to the question 4 pi r square. Let's plug that in. Surface area of a sphere is equals to 49 pi. How do I know that? That's given up here. The formula for surface area is 4 pi r square. You just told me that. I can cut out pi on both ends. I am left with 4r square is equals to 49. What do I do now?
Then you divide it.
We divide both sides by 4 because we're trying to get rid of the 4. And then we take square root on both sides. That's how we get rid of the odd.
Yes.
What does the O stand for in board mass?
Order.
Order. Order stands for this number at the top. Now what's the square root of 49? We just did that a little while ago.
Yeah. 7.
7, right? And the
Okay.
square root of 4 is 2. 7 over 2 is your answer.
Okay, yeah.
Or it can be called 3.5. Find the volume of the sphere. Oh, वाह 4 by 3 pi r. नहीं, ये गलत है. What should be over here?
Just just right. Oh, cubed.
Now all you need to do is plug this in. ठीक है?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be skipping that part. Would you be able to do that?
Think so.
Think so? चलें लिख लेते हैं. Volume is equal to 4 divided by 3 into pi. What is the value of r?
Oh, 7. Oh, yes, 7. 7.
2 whole cube. We just need to multiply this.
Yeah.
Okay. 19. Rida, क्या किया है यहाँ पे? We're trying to solve it through elimination. Why weren't you able to eliminate it? अच्छा. Elimination in such a question would not work. Or I mean, can work. You can make it work, but let me tell you something. Because यहाँ y and यहाँ पे you see a y squared. Over here you see an x. Over here you see an x squared. It would be preferred that instead of elimination you try to do substitution. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I were to say substitute, this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Substitute y is equal to 7 minus 2x in equation 2. Can you help me write that down? Are you familiar with this method?
Substitution, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so wherever you see y in the second equation, you are supposed to write this entire thing in place of y. So take a look. I'll write the second equation again, x squared plus, and then we have that magic variable y. Instead of y, we will be substituting
Yeah,
this statement,
7.
right? 7 minus 2x whole square. And the
Yep.
rest of it follows as it is. Now, how do you expand this bracket?
You times you by square x square. So
Are you familiar with this? You must have seen it by now.
I think so.
That's called an identity. There are three identities in your course. Over here, you got this one. So instead of just squaring every term, this is how we're supposed to open it. X square plus 7 square. This is your A, this is your B. Right? So instead of A square, we're going to write 7 square minus 2 times what's your value of A?
Um, just 7
What's your value of B?
minus 2x.
Just 2x. What's your value of B again? Now we're supposed to take the square of B.
2x.
2x plus square is equals to 34. Would you be able to solve this? Or should I complete this?
I think I can do it.
हो जाएगा? या do I solve it for you? I'll solve it. X square plus 49 minus these three numbers multiplied together will give us 28x plus 4x square is equals to 34. ये देखो 4x square plus x square how much does that come out to be?
For x squared.
Come again?
So could you repeat that? Just glitched out.
Sure. Why don't you take a look at this equation and solve this for me? Take a minute. We'll meet back at 3:58.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any success?
I was adding 4x squared and x squared and then 49 take away 20x squared. But that's right.
So, what do I write in the next step? Did you combine any numbers? Did you combine any variables together?
I combined 49 minus 20x squared, but I don't know what to do that.
Well, okay. Not exactly possible because one of them has an x, the other one doesn't.
Yeah. So 4x and x squared.
Why didn't you combine the x square with the x square?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Combine those together. So what's the number next to this x square over here?
Just 1.
1x square plus 4x square, that gives us 5x square.
Yeah.
Now minus 28x is alone. We're going to just write it down over here alone. The 49 and the 34 seem to be like terms. So we're doing combining like terms. That's the process that we're following over here. So we're going to write plus 49 and the 34 is going to come meet 49 over here. What's going to happen to the sign?
It's gonna turn negative.
Turn negative. So that becomes 5x square minus 28x. And what's 49 minus 34?
Wait, sorry?
49 take away 34. Is that 15? Can you confirm that? Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now what did the question say? Solve the simultaneous equations, show your algebraic working. No wonder it is worth 5 marks because it keeps on expanding. What can we do over here?
Can you use the yep
When we multiply, what number do we need? What's our target?
um 15 minus 28?
The sum, when added together, the numbers should equal negative 28, right? But when
Yeah.
multiplied, those numbers should be equals to
15?
it's
Oh, 5.
it's usually these two numbers multiplied together,
Okay.
right? That's why it's called P. P stands for product. Product means multiplied. S stands for sum. Sum means add. Now
Okay.
you're adding two numbers which when added give you negative 28, right? But the product always comes from multiplying these two numbers together. So 15 into 5 is 75. Can you think of
Yeah.
two numbers which when multiplied give you 75 and which when added give you negative 28?
Um.
We usually make the factors of 75. We usually make the factors of the product. So 75
Yeah.
is equals to 1 times 75. Next time around, instead of 1, you're going to write 2. Does 2 fit into 75?
No.
No.
I
We're
think
going to
so.
jump that. Does 3 fit into a 75?
Hmm. Um. Yes. I think so.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And this seems to be doing our. Yes, it does. It seems to be fitting our constraints over here. We need a sum of negative 28 and we need product of 75. What if I write 5x squared minus 25x minus 3x plus 15? Now negative 25 and negative 3 give you negative 28
Yeah.
and negative 25 into negative 3 give you a positive 75.
Yeah.
Okay then. Can you help me solve this?
But then, so negative 25 minus negative 3.
If we do that, we're going to go back to the original question. How many terms do we have over here? Remember at the start of the lesson we discussed
Oh,
this.
yeah. So for the first one, would it be just 5?
We have 4 terms, so we're going to be solving it through factorization by grouping. So what can we take common out
Yeah.
of the first group?
5.
5 and what's a variable?
Oh, 5x.
Beautiful. X minus 5. What can we take out common from the second group? That's group number 1, that's
Just
group number 2.
3.
If we take out just 3, we're going to be
3.
left with minus x plus 5. Now if you notice it doesn't match. Signs don't match.
3.
What do we do to make the signs match?
You
I'll help you.
change
Well, come again, come again. Change
the
the
sign.
the sign.
The
We change the sign of positive 3 and make it a negative 3. What would
yeah.
that do? It will essentially change every sign inside the bracket. So that will become x minus 5. Now we've made the brackets identical to each other. That Walaikum Assalam. That goes to show our factorization is correct so far. What do we do now?
And then you have to expand. the bracket there.
We just combine those brackets which are repeating and write them once, and we combine the other two numbers and write them once.
Yeah.
Both of them are equals to 0. What do we do for the next step?
G.
Right? We write
Yeah.
both equals to
Oh
0.
yeah.
And what's the other one going to be?
5x minus 3 equals 0.
Excellent. X is equal to 5. Help me solve the other one.
Get to take away 5.
5x take away 3. We're supposed to isolate x, so the first step that we're going to follow is
Divide. Yeah.
get rid of addition, subtraction first.
Addition.
5x minus 3 plus 3,
Yep.
then that's 0 plus 3. 5x is equals to 3. Now what do? We're done with addition, subtraction.
We divide it by 5.
Divide by 5. X is equal to 3 by 5 and x is equal to 3. This gives us two answers for x. For now we just solved x. We got two answers for x. How many answers for y are we going to get?
Just 2.
We're gonna get two answers for y. So one by one you're gonna plug in these values of x. Once you're gonna plug in 5, once you're gonna plug in 3 by 5. Then you're gonna get some corresponding values for y. And that's both of them combined are gonna be your answers. You're gonna write x1 comma y1 once and x2 comma y2 second time around. And this is how what your answer is going to look. Okay.
Yep.
Last question. This is trigonometry. I would really want to end this paper today because we've been on P1 and P2 for quite a long time. Work out the value of x. Why don't you solve it as well? Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. What do you think we're supposed to do over here?
You have to use
Trigonometry. Well done. This is a question of trigonometry. Now, this are we going to use basic trigonometry? Basic trig, which has sine, cos, and tan, or are we going to use further trig, which has sine rule, cosine rule, cosine rule, area of a triangle using sine cos of an obtuse angle, bearings, basic stuff or further stuff? What do you think?
further.
Further. Work out the value of x. This is x. Which one of those rules can help you out?
Sine rule.
Sine, cosine rule?
Oh,
No,
cosine rule.
you might be right as well. You're saying sine rule. While it makes sense, take a look over here. You have an angle and side opposite to it. You have another angle and the side opposite to it, but then that side is not given. And then this side is not given. This must be 5 marks because I think it involves a little bit of working. There are two ways that you can go about it. Either you need to calculate this side first, or you need to calculate this angle first. We've got under 9 minutes to go. You've applied the cosine rule. Wait, hold on. Let's try to study that. You've done b square is equals to 12.3 square plus 9.7 square minus 2 into 9.7 into 12.3 into cosine 115. Wow, zabardast. Then what happened here?
I think maybe I messed up with.
Let me confirm whether your answer is correct. 12.3 का square plus 9.7 का square minus 2 into 12.3 into 9.7 cos of 115. 12.3 square plus 9.7 square minus 2 into 12.3. It should have come out to be 346.225. Rather, you're getting 243. Right? I think that's an error in calculation. So let's do this quickly. Now we've got under 7 minutes to go. So b square is equals to 9.7 square plus 12.3 square minus 2 into 9.7 to 12.3 into cos of 115. Now, since you do not have your calculator with you, this comes out to be 346.225. If I take the square root of this, it comes out to be 18.6. Can you confirm this? The value of b? 18.607. Now that
Yeah.
we've got the value of b, does that help us in solving for x?
Yes.
How? What rule can we use now?
The sine rule.
The cosine rule. No, we're already done with the cosine rule, the sine rule.
Yeah.
The sine rule works like this. We need an angle on the opposite side, we need another angle on the opposite side. If we have a combination that looks like this, we're good to go.
Yeah.
So we are going to say cos of 115 over b, which came out to be 18.607, and we just wrote this down. And now we're going to say cos of x is equals to 9.7. Fraction equals to a fraction. Just 2 more steps to go, then we're ending this lesson because time's run out. Cross multiply. What would the equation look like?
8.6 or 7 cos.
18.607 cosine of x. Next.
And then equals 9.7 cosine of 115.
Perfect. 9.7 cosine of 115 would give us how much? That's a negative number, negative 4.0993. G, confirmation on B? I'm getting 18.6.
Yeah.
Cosine of x is equals to this value over 18.21.4. Cosine rule. Alright, Rida, what do we do now?
And then you just, you have to divide.
Then you have to take the inverse of the fraction on the right, and that's
Yeah.
going to be your value of x, right?
Yeah.
That was the last question. We successfully ended P1 and P2. So I'm going to upload this as well. The entire lessons that we've done so far have been uploaded, P1 and P2 as well. And we're going to be
Yeah.
continuing back with one of the topics that we were doing before, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's about it. I'm going to fill that in your Excel sheet as well. Good office and take care.
That is. Thank you.
You're welcome.